Hello, Portfolio Posse. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And today we are going to have a very exciting conversation about Airbnb. What is Airbnb? How do I invest in one? How do I get one? How do I get one without buying a whole property? We are going to discuss all of that. So stay tuned. Okay, so here we go. Airbnb. So, chances are that you've heard so much about Airbnb, but only from a consumer perspective. Of course, we hear about, yeah, we're going to get an Airbnb. You go somewhere, you have a family reunion, you got 10 people coming. You don't want to get 10 separate hotel rooms. So, you get an Airbnb, a big mansion with 10 bedrooms in it. Or maybe you're in the process of moving. You just bought a house. You don't close. You have to move. It's a relocation, and you don't close until next Saturday. But for work, you have to start this Monday. So where will you live? You don't want to stay in a hotel, so you get an Airbnb. But see, that's the consumer side. What about the business side? So first of all, let me welcome myself. My name is TC Monet from TC Monet Realty. And the purpose of this channel is to help everybody grow their portfolios. Now, what is a portfolio? If you are an investor, your portfolio are your assets. They're your doors, they're your properties, your apartment buildings, your Airbnb is whatever, that is generating income for you. That's part of your portfolio. We look at doors. So even if you have an apartment and it has 20 units in it, you have 20 doors. You have one property, but you have 20 doors, right? So that's your portfolio. So what we're talking about in this video is Airbnb from the portfolio side. We're talking about the investor side, not the consumer side, right? We're talking about the how do you even get to have an Airbnb where you can market it to the consumers. That's what we're talking about. So a lot of people get it confused because they're like, I don't understand, how are people making money from Airbnbs? I don't get it. And there are some people that are literally sitting around with vacant properties. They maybe, the property was left to them by a grandmother and it's way in Mississippi and they live in Florida, right? So they don't want to sell it because grandmother left it to them, but they don't have the time or the energy, nor do they want to go to Mississippi and try to fix up this house so they can rent it or sell it. So the house just sits there as a zombie. We call them zombie houses, right? They're just sitting there. You're paying taxes on it, liability, insurance, liability, anything could happen. And this property is under your name, not generating any revenue. You're paying bills on it. You have to keep the grass cut, or else you're going to start getting fines and violations. You're pretty much paying for a zombie house. It's your property, no doubt, but it's a bill. It's not. We deal with assets, not liabilities. Our portfolio posse builds assets, not liabilities, right? So, back to this Airbnb. Okay. So, perfect example. I knew of someone that called me and they had been left the property. A family member had passed away and they left them the house. And although they were grateful, they couldn't step foot in a house. It reminded them too much of, their grandmother. The grandmother passed away. That was the only other family member. Hadn't seen the grandparent in 5, 6, 7 years. They will talk on the phone, but they hadn't been there to visit. Didn't know the condition of the house, da da da. And the grandparent passed away unexpectedly. Now they have a house with all of their belongings in it. The house needs updates, it's old, it has a smell, the grandparent passed away in the house, and like it was just a whole big deal. But they didn't know what to do. So they just let it sit. They just let it sit there. They paid the taxes on it. Taxes wasn't much, maybe $300-400. They paid the taxes. They sent the landscaping company over there to cut the grass, and they just, okay, that's grandma's house, and they just left it at that. So we have a conversation, and I'm just like, "What are you gonna do with that property?" And they was like, "I don't know." I said, "Why don't you, let it generate you some money?" And they were like, "I do not want to go in that house. I don't want nothing in that house. I don't want to go in that house." I said, "Well, let me do it. Let me manage it for you. I can manage it for you." They had no idea what I was talking about. No idea. So let me tell you my side from an investor, real estate agent side. What I saw was so much lost revenue potential. You have a house, big, beautiful house, one of them old houses with the real wood, heavy wood, you know, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, nice neighborhood, big house. It needed updates and, on the inside and out, but it was a good house, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So sometimes people don't even recognize what they have. But I'm sitting here thinking, you are missing so much money. And to them, they're like, nah, as long as I pay the taxes, it's okay. They were using the house as storage and they just missed the whole boat on the property. Okay, so my portfolio policy, we don't do that. My portfolio policy, we maximize our ROI potential of any property that may be in possession in our hot little hands. Okay? So, how this we can also use this as a case study. Okay? So, what I recommended is don't worry about it. You will never have to go to that house. You'll never have to worry about it. But I laid some numbers out in front of them, right? So I'm going to give you this little tip, this for free, right? But this is the kind of information that we learn in the investor circle. Time meter. This is the kind of information that we share in the investor circle. So that's a freebie right there. So what you do in that case, if you have a person that just does not want to deal with it, you don't want to deal with it, you don't even know where to start, call me, email me. Let me again put the email, TC Monet Realty, or you can text me or my team at this number, and we will help you. We will help you with that property. You'll never have to step foot in that property. All right. All we need is the address and the keys and your email address. And what you will do is start collecting checks. That's it. So we do Airbnb management. That's part of our investor services on our housing on demand solutions investment arm. Okay. So TC Monet Realty. Hi, I'm TC Monet. TC Monet Realty is an umbrella. It's traditional real estate, investment real estate, um, education, support, learning. I mean, we're the umbrella, and we're sponsored by Housing on Demand Solutions. And they actually do the nitty gritty investment stuff, right? So you will reach out and say, hey, I got this house. I don't know what to do with it, but I need to make at least $1,000 a month. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the address, and I'm going to go to rent this website. I just put in here, rentometer.com. So what that is a website, and it tells you the rent potential of any property in the United States. Okay. So you're saying you want $1,000 a month. I put it in Rentometer and I see that it has a $1,500 rent potential. Guess what? I'm going to help you with that. Because if you're telling me you want $1,000 a month, I'm going to get you $1,000 a month, guaranteed. Even no matter how much I pull in, no matter how much the house generates, I will fulfill and uphold my commitment to you to get you $1,000 per month. You don't have to worry about repairs. You don't have to worry about answering phone calls, repairs, cutting the grass, paying. You don't have to worry about any of that. We handle all of that. All you have to do is collect your check. All we need is your email and the keys. We have an agreement. We will set up an agreement in place and say that we will manage your Airbnb. We will have the terms. It could be short term, 3 months, but I'm going to sell it in 6 months. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. It could be, okay, let's do the Airbnb thing for 6 months and I want to sell it by da da da. So I'm using the Airbnb to raise the money to fix the house so I can sell the house. We can do that too. We can do it however you want to because we have the tools and resources in place to do that. Okay. So you don't need to you if you have a property and you get the chills literally by even thinking about it. I would never step foot in a house. It's too creepy. You don't want to sell. It's not in a condition to sell. You don't want to go to the house. You don't have other family that wants to go to Mississippi. Like, it's literally, the house is just sitting there and it's just gonna sit there. As long as you pay the taxes, it's your house. But it's a liability. The portfolio posse, we deal in assets. All right, we deal in um, revenue generation. We deal in passive income. That's what we do here. So if you say, you know, I just want $1,000 a month, I don't care what you do with it, just make sure I get my check. I'll go through and I'll make sure if the rent, if they $1,000, like I said, I look at Rentometer and they say that the houses in that area rent for 1,500, and you only ask me for 1,000. I know for a fact that I'll be able to get your $1,000 from that property, and I know for a fact that we'll be able to Airbnb it out. So the way that works is our agreement is $1,000 a month. So you don't worry about, cleaning it, which is an expense. You don't worry about marketing it, which is an expense. Maintenance, expense. Cutting the grass, expense. We handle all of that and we make sure that you get your $1,000 a month. So it's literally like you have a tenant and you don't need to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about credit checks or getting an application or seeing if they got evictions in a none of that. You don't worry about any of that. All you worry about is collecting your $1,000 a month. So that's how we do Airbnb management. So again, these are the kind of things that you will learn about in the investor circle. So in the investor circle, it is a community of us. Some people are new, some people are experienced, some people are licensed, some people not investors. Some people just don't have a clue. They just want to be in the mix. They just love real estate and they just love learning. That's okay too. So our investor circle is $25 a month. And when you start doing the research like I have and find out that mentoring can cost anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000, $25 a month, that is that's nothing. If you could spend $25 to learn how to make $1,000 a month, that's an investment. Invest in the investor circle. That's what we do. We invest in the investor circle so we can pull the money out. That's what we do. We teach you how to maximize the revenue potential of your property. That's what the investor circle is for. People that have properties that just don't know what to do with it. Burnt out landlords. I'm done. I don't want these houses no more. You know, estates, passed away relatives, divorces, all of those things. People are stuck with zombie houses and they just don't know what to do with them. And that's what our investor circle is to do. We handle all the heavy lifting. And when we get done doing what we do, all you have to do is collect a check. That's what you do. And Housing on Demand Solutions, we do all the background work. We do the going in and the cleaning out and the staging and making sure it's presentable and marketing it on Airbnb. We do all of that. You don't even have to worry about that. All you worry about is literally collecting a check. So I hope you'll join our investor circle. Like I said, it's only $25 a month. We're doing a special because, as you see, we just rebranded all of our social media. This is a new YouTube channel. At the time of recording this, we have 0 likes, 0 subscribers. And that's okay. That's okay. Because even if you are a new, you want to start you a new YouTube channel, just follow us and you can see how we grow, and you'll grow how we grow, because this is organic. We're taking it step by step, reaching out to you, telling you what we offer, asking you to join us, join our community, become a part of the portfolio posse, increase your net worth, increase your passive income streams. That's what we do here for just $25 a month. And our special to our first 100 subscribers is that you get 30 days for free. So you can try it out. If you don't like it after the 30 days, if you don't like getting a free support or being on our live team support calls or getting the contracts or being helped walk through a deal, or, if after 30 days that was no help to you, then that's okay. No loss. You know, it was free. You tried it. You didn't like it. That's okay. But for those of us that decide to stay, turn that $25 into 25,000, because that's what we do. We help increase your revenue potential of your properties. Okay? So, thank you so much for joining us. Let me look at my notes. Thank you so much for joining us. And I so hope that you decide to join us and become a part of our portfolio posse. And please stay tuned for our next video, because it will talk about, we're going to go into this YouTube journey. Because, guys, it has been a journey. It has definitely been a journey. Okay? So, that's our next video. Stay tuned and always stay with us so we can help you grow your portfolio.